Hi, I'm Tina O'Dwyer, founder of the Tourism Space. This is the fifth article in a series of articles about the Super Six of better tourism. In our traditional model of tourism, the visitor is kind of like the top of the pile. It's about understanding the visitor's needs and wants and going out of our way to satisfy those needs and wants so that we can remain competitive as destinations. The Super Six, however, casts the visitor in a much different relationship, actually. It casts the visitor not at the top of the pile, but part of a circular relationship within the destination. So they're part of an ecosystem where they interact with the business, with the community, with the place, and with the environment. What we're starting to see is that this shift is something that the visitor understands and actually almost expects now from destinations and from businesses. We'll know that in 2018 and 2019 we were starting to really see for the first time how the principles of sustainability were starting to inform visitor decision making. Those ideas were gathering pace in 2018 and 2019. What the research is showing us now, and you'll find some of it in this article, is that those values that lay behind that more sustainably minded visitor have really started to embed themselves as a result of COVID-19. We're seeing what's called a permanent shift in society's values and a permanent shift in consumer behaviour. So while the sustainably minded visitor might have been very much a niche up to, say, 2018 and starting to grow in those couple of years before the pandemic, it now seems that a much larger portion of the visitor population is what you would consider sustainably minded. And getting inside the mind of that visitor is now very important. You'll find some thoughts in the article about the idea of empowering visitors and how visitors are starting to really look towards businesses and destinations to open up possibilities for them in a much more co-creative relationship. You'll also find some ideas around changing language, where we'll move from talking about accommodating visitors and attracting visitors to inviting people and hosting them within our communities. There's also a few interesting questions here when it comes to the idea of creating visitor experiences. So questions like, how do you make it possible for the sustainably minded visitor to show that they care? How do you make it possible for a visitor like that to feel that by travelling they are actually contributing to the well-being of other people in other places? How do you make it possible through your experience and through your hosting for visitors to really get close to that authentic local? These are really interesting questions and challenging questions, and they're questions that will inspire the industry to innovate as it seeks to really engage in this new relationship with a greater number of sustainably minded visitors.